Hi, my name is Kahina and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do an update video on my hair. So I'm going to try and find a way to link the old video about my hair in this vicinity here so that you can watch that one. But yeah, we're going to do a little update on how my hair's been faring since I found out it was falling out. So as always, if you like my content, if you enjoy watching my content, give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment, let me know that you like this style of video. If you don't like this style of video, obviously feel free to tell me that. And yeah, subscribe to my channel so you can get more updates on my hair. First things first, we're going to open with, I already filmed this video 3 weeks ago. And then when I went to edit it, I found I was not in focus the entire time. So basically, yeah, I'm filming it again. If you didn't watch it though, basically I was taking methotrexate for, I would say, about 9 months. And then, well, no, it'd been about 6 months when I realized that my hair was falling out. And then I went to my fortnightly monitoring appointment, and it was the day before my birthday, so it's February 8th, and just broke down, realized my hair was falling out. It was a mess, I was upset, it was awful. The suggestion was, let's try not taking it for a little while, see how I get on and see if it starts to grow back. And that's kind of where I left you guys last time. So when I filmed this, it was actually wash day. Coincidentally, it's wash day again, so basically you could see my hair, but I had to wait until next wash day. I didn't take my methotrexate for about 4 or 5 weeks, so from that date in February, it was like mid-March, I went and saw the rheumatology nurse, Karen, so I didn't take it for about 4 or 5 weeks. My hair did actually start to grow back. It seemed noticeably thicker, and even though it was, well, I say noticeably thicker, it was noticeable to me, but not to anyone else. But the biggest thing I saw was that it stopped falling out when I washed my hair. Like, I used to wash my hair and these massive clumps of hair would come out in the shower. It was awful, and that stopped happening. So that was great. My scalp stopped being so sore, probably because so much of my hair wasn't falling out. So all in all, I was happy about that. And we went back and me and Karen had another chat about it, and we decided we'd give the methotrexate another go. So I was taking 20 milligrams of methotrexate at this point. We went back to 20 and she gave me the option to taper it down to 15, which is what I had been taking initially, if I wanted to see if that slowed the hair fall. So I started taking my methotrexate again. It'd been about 3 weeks and I noticed that my hair was thinning and falling out more again in the shower. So I made the executive decision. I wasn't going to go down to the 15. I wasn't going to fanny on about it. I just stopped taking it. Now, this might sound ridiculous to some people, but to me, the hair loss was too much. It wasn't a little bit, it was quite a lot. And I wasn't comfortable with it, so I stopped taking it. So yeah, I forgot to mention, Karen did some testing to see if I was allergic to what was going to be our backup plan option, which was the azathioprine. That was the backup plan. The azathioprine was the backup plan. They do testing to see if I'm going to be allergic to it. As far as we could see, I wasn't. So in the beginning of April, when I stopped taking my methotrexate, I was essentially waiting until my appointment at the end of April so we could go on this azathioprine. That was the plan, that was my plan, that was how I intended to move forward. My appointment was supposed to be at the end of April. About a week before, I got a letter saying they had changed it to 2 weeks. It was on the 15th of May, and I know this because I've just watched back the footage from the other video that I filmed, which was a few days later. So obviously that was a bit of a pain. By the time I actually got to see the doctor, it was about 6 weeks since I'd stopped taking my methotrexate. As you can imagine, I felt gross. I was expecting to go into the appointment having to fight to get that azathioprine, like I did have to fight to get the methotrexate in the first place. To my surprise, when I finally got to the appointment, I explained what had been going on. He asked me had I chose to taper it down, and I said no, I just don't want to take it anymore. And he said fine, and wrote me a prescription for 50 milligrams of azathioprine every day. Great, right? So it seemed. Now, because it's 3 weeks since I last filmed this video, I'm gonna have another video entirely on how I manage my natural hair with me having lupus, because it is exhausting. As you can imagine, it requires a lot of work, but it's been 3 weeks, so now you guys are getting an additional bit of tea, which is very exciting for us all. So I came home from my appointment all happy with myself, ready to take my azathioprine, live my best life, wait for my hair to grow back, gonna be chilling in the summer, hair free. I was excited about it. And I went home and I took my azathioprine before bed, as you always do. Now, azathioprine, quick public service announcement, quick PSA. Azathioprine is still a chemotherapy medication, but it's supposed to be less aggressive than methotrexate. So, you know, it still has side effects of chemotherapy medication. So, nausea being the main one. My hair could still fall out, but it's supposed to be less aggressive. So we're hoping that would happen less. That was the idea. So I went off, took my azathioprine at night, like I did with the methotrexate, to combat the nausea. Went to sleep, ready to have a good night's sleep, blessed. Yeah, that's not what happened. So at about 4 o'clock in the morning, I woke up. And you know when you're gonna throw up and your mouth sort of creates a lot of saliva? The reason it does that incidentally is to protect your teeth when you throw up. I woke up to throw up at about 4 a.m. And when I say I had less than a minute to between waking up and throwing up, now my house is sort of built like many of the old miners' houses in Newcastle, in that the bedrooms in the ground floor flats anyway are usually at the front of the house, and the bathroom is at the very back. It could not possibly have been further to the toilet if it tried. Needless to say, I didn't make it. Now, that's all that I had said in the original video. Now you guys get the additional tea. I threw up in those first 2 weeks. You know, I expected my body to get used to it. It did not. I threw up. Must have been 8 or 9 times. And every time I threw up, it got worse and worse and worse. So 2 weeks later, I went to my monitoring appointment, as you do. And I said to them, because I have to get monitors every 2 weeks when I take azathioprine. Said to them, I've been throwing up constantly, nauseous, constantly. Like, my methotrexate made me nauseous, but I rarely ever threw up unless I had like 1 milliliter of alcohol, in which case, that's it. You're throwing up at some point in the next few days. But this was like all the time. Couldn't eat, couldn't sleep properly. I know you can see my ring light in the background, which is new. I just bought it so I could film this video because I'm not at home with my good lighting. So yeah, anyway, I kept throwing up and I told them this, and they went, all right, okay. What we'll do is we'll try 25 milligrams when you come in. So this was the day before the monitoring appointment. So they got the prescription ready for me. I went, they drew some blood, as they do normally, took my normal bloods, gave me the prescription for 25, went home, blessed again. Ready. Got to the point where I was actually kind of getting afraid to go to sleep because I knew that meant I had to take my medication and I was probably going to throw up, and I was putting it off. I wasn't sleeping properly. It was awful. So I went home, tried the 25 milligrams. Did I throw up still? Yes, I did. And as it went on, it was getting worse. That night, I threw up so many times that my stomach was empty, like, and I was still throwing up. It was like foam at this point, like. And then I came back, drank some juice, immediately threw it up. I was throwing up for hours. I must have thrown up about 16 times that night. Trash. So I'm ready now. I decided, I made a plan. What was I going to do? I was going to get some ginger, which is supposed to be good for nausea. Eat at a different time, eat earlier on so there was nothing in my stomach that could irritate the medication. Go to sleep straight after taking it, all of that. That was the plan. On the Thursday, I was going to enact this plan, but I got a call at about 5 to 6 saying, so your bloods, they were one of your markers was a little bit high. Can you come back in on Monday for some more bloods? And I was like, well, no, I'm going to be in Leicester, which is where I am now. They were like, oh, can you come in tomorrow? And I was like, oh, this seems urgent. Yeah, okay, I'll come in tomorrow. I'll just tell my supervisor I've got to go to the hospital and I'll come in tomorrow. I'm going to insert a picture of it here. Right here. So, my liver function marker. Bearing in mind, all this time, I thought my stomach had just been hurting because of all the throwing up. Turns out one of my liver function markers was 12 times higher than it was 2 weeks before. That's what was hurting. I was in agony up till now. So that was a week ago on Wednesday. I went in on Friday and they did some additional bloods. This is currently now the following Sunday, so it's been about 10 days. They called me on Tuesday, said my markers were still high, so stop taking this medication. I was like, don't worry, love. I don't like waking up to throw up, in the middle of the night. That really ain't it for me. So yeah, it was not. It was 12 times higher. They did additional tests. It was awful. I'm still sometimes in pain, sort of like it's like my left side, and I'm still not eating properly. I'm not eating full meals. I don't know, I've been ill. So all in all, this is the additional tea that you're getting that would have been in a separate video if it weren't for the fact that that last video was entirely out of focus and it looked trash. But yeah, so far azathioprine not being good. But what you're actually here for is an update on my hair, right? Can we? Yeah, an update on my hair. So let's do it. Whew, you know what? This is quite convenient. This is how my hair looks at the moment. Now, as you can see, the front, an angle. So as you can see, the front has filled out quite a lot. The bit that's still thin is right here on the top of my head. My scalp is still a little bit sore and the hair here is still a little bit thin, but all in all, it's actually grown back really, really well. It better grow back because it's really hard work. I've put in a lot of hard work to get my natural hair to this length, which is about this long, and I cut it all off a couple of years ago, so I put in a lot of hard work to do that, and I would really like it to grow back. So yeah, what have I been doing to help myself? I've been taking these iron tablets. Wait, let me move it out of the light. There we go. I've been taking these iron tablets. Nothing fancy, they're just regular iron tablets from Asda. But before, I used to have really low iron count in my blood. So I used to take iron tablets and I found it helped my hair grow back. I just taking anything makes me feel quite nauseous at the moment. But as always, if you did like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up and let me know. And thank you very much for watching. Honestly, I appreciate every view, and I've got some really good content coming up soon. So yeah, feel free to subscribe. Peace. See you next time.